Bulavinaka, Namaste, good evening. I'm Vijay Narayan. You're watching and listening to Fiji Village Trade Talk, and today we have managed to get the Supervisor of Elections, Anonymity. We are at her office to discuss about, of course, election-related issues as we expect the general elections to be held next year. There's a lot of talk now that we expect the municipal council elections to be held later this year. Some suggestion for it to be held around September, October this year. Thank you very much, Ms. Mataidiwa, for agreeing to coming on our show and to talk to our listeners and viewers directly.
Thank you, Vijay.
Now, when you last appeared on our show, you had many challenges. They were legal, operational, and logistical. How's it been so far?
Well, in terms of the issues that I had raised last time I was with you, we were looking at the pending glitch issues, the pending legal reform issues, and even the storage of our electoral materials and preparation for the local government election. So far, things have been progressing. In terms of the glitch, since we last spoke, things have taken place this year, well, last month. We've closed that chapter in terms of the electoral laws. Things are progressing now. We are going to go into the review of the 3 existing electoral laws and the storage issue that has been resolved after the destruction of the 2022 general election sensitive materials.
The glitch investigation, a bit of a relief there. Hopefully we don't get that nightmare again in the next elections. But what about the rest of the legal, operational, and logistical challenges?
In terms of the legal challenges, now we're racing against time. Election year is next year. We have the legal reform that is coming up. We are hoping that it would be finalized soon so that then we have time to carry out the basic necessary steps in preparation for the next general election.
What type of support do you need from government? Definitely financial support. The budget is coming up. This budget will be crucial for your work. How much are you looking at?
In terms of government support, I must say after the 2022 general election review, one of the feedbacks that we got, apart from our stakeholders such as the media, the political parties, as well as the civil society organization, we also had a review with state agencies. And it was brought to our attention that we did not have that relationship with them in order for them to assist us. So moving forward in preparation for the upcoming general election, it's more of the Fijian Elections Office having that relationship with the state agencies so that we are able to serve our Fijians, who are our main priority. Such a support, I must add, which we'll probably talk about later, is the Memorandum of Understanding that we are now entering with various ministries just to help us serve Fijians better.
So in terms of the total amount needed in taxpayers' funds or through overseas donations, you're still trying to get a ballpark figure for the next elections?
We are currently preparing our budget, not only the operational budget for this this year, but as well as the election budget for next year. I'll be able to inform you of the anticipated amount probably when we talk next time.
Next time will be pretty soon, most likely.
Yes.
Now, you have referred many files to FICAC. Under the law, you have to refer files to FICAC. There's been also opposing views regarding that you continue to just follow that. Why are you just sending all the files to FICAC? But since after the 2022 general elections, you've sent many files to FICAC. Have you received all the responses? Are you happy with it?
In terms of the files that have been referred to FICAC, so since the 19th of June 2023 to date, we have received 29 complaints. Out of these 29 complaints, 17 have been referred to FICAC. Some have been closed off, and others are still pending with us. Now, back in May, I had informed the general public on certain complaints that have been referred to FICAC. In terms of those 17 complaints, 8 have been closed. This includes complaint against the former Attorney General, Mr. Kayum, complaint against Fiji First, complaint against the former Prime Minister, Vorengen Bainimarama, and also complaint against the former President, Mr. Katonivere, and complaint against Linda Tambuya. The others that are still in existence, we have just sought an update from FICAC. Once we are able to receive an update from them, then we'll be able to inform you and the general public as well.
So what's the situation with FICAC? Do you have an agreement of follow-ups after you give the files, or do you have to keep checking?
In terms of our processes, so FICAC is the investigatory arm of electoral offenses under the 3 existing electoral laws. We do understand that the complaints are quite complex in nature. It does take time, but one thing good about FICAC is that they always keep us up to date. In terms of us following up, at the end of the day, we also have to have that check and balance in black and white. And so we do the necessity to, from our end, to make sure that in case we are held accountable of what we're doing with the complaints, we've reflected it in the letters seeking updates from them.
General elections is next year. We still haven't had our laws reviewed. This is something that has been discussed from 2023. And of course, we need that moving with the Political Parties Act, the Electoral Act, major changes. A lot of people want major changes because some things were just rushed through during the 2021 period, and a lot of people know that, which caused a lot of issues. From your perspective as Supervisor of Election, what is holding us back?
When we look at the 3 electoral laws, I believe just like in other nations as well, one of the best practices is for us to have it a year before election year or even 2 years before election year. Now coming back to Fiji, sometimes things do happen, but we are so fortunate that when we raised it, things are moving, and now we're working towards getting the laws done. And so this is probably an opportunity as well to reach out to the Fijians out there. You know, most of the time we tend to talk about our electoral experiences. We vent it out on the social media, in the informal Talano sessions. But keep a lookout for these commissioners that will be coming around for the legal reform of the electoral laws, because this will be the platform where you could actually raise your concerns, and then it's reflected, and if it's accepted, then we'll be able to implement it as an implementation body.
One of the issues about any elections is to give public the confidence that it's a free and fair election. And the other issue is about the rules of the game are followed properly. Access to information is critical. Unfortunately, the previous government, one of the changes that they did was now you have to actually pay to see the declarations of assets and liabilities. You cannot even, I cannot even come and take photos of it over here. I cannot take it, pay it, and print it out for people to see. And it seems like something that goes against that thread of accountability and transparency. As Supervisor of Elections, will you be looking at changing that?
In terms of the publication and viewing of this declaration of assets, expenses, and liabilities, so rightfully said by you, in the previous laws, there were accessibilities granted, but then it was later restricted. But we have received feedbacks from our stakeholders, and we have also reflected in our submission for this upcoming reform, and in it we've reflected in it the intentions of our stakeholders to view it. And so rest assured, Vijay, we've actually included in our submissions for it to revert back to the previous law, which is for anyone to come and view these declarations. But I must add, we have reflected it in our submission, but at the end of the day, whether it's accepted or not, it's another discussion. But we are aware of the concerns of our stakeholders. We've taken it on board, and it's on our submissions for the upcoming reform.
It will be a good way forward, especially with the current government also just tabling the Code of Conduct Bill, which also goes in line with the declaration of assets and liabilities. We also talked about the Supervisor of Elections having excessive powers. You currently have excessive powers. You can actually come and search my office if you believe that I have some documents that you need. That was some of the new laws or amendments were rushed through Standing Order 51. Do you expect to also ask that those excessive powers be taken away?
In terms of the excessive power of the Supervisor of Elections, we've also considered that, because it's something that was not only brought up by the stakeholders, but also in the multinational observer group report of the 2022 general election. What we've done is that we have looked at the current powers of the Supervisor of Elections, and the ones that are not needed, we've actually made a proposal for it to be taken out. But the ones that are needed for operational purposes in terms of conducting the election and, of course, in terms of administering the role of the Registrar of Political Parties, we've put it in.
You've had to, no doubt, change a lot of mindsets in this office here, from when you came in as the acting supervisor and now fully taking up the role, the substantive role. How difficult has it been for you?
Change does take time. It starts with the mindset before it's actioned. And so when I came in, one of the things that I had said, which I continue to say, is that we are here to transform and not to conform, which means all the things that have been done previously, which were of administrative hindrance to those that we serve, those are the things that we need to look at to ensure that at the end of the day, we are there to have processes that are user-friendly and not blockage to our Fijians. And though it did take time, but in preparation for the upcoming general election, things have changed.
What are you doing to ensure there is no political influence?
In terms of political influence, it comes back to what is expected of you ethically and professionally in terms of the role you play. And so what I emphasize to the staff here at the Fijian Elections Office, saying that Fiji is a small country should not be a reason for you to compromise. We've chosen to work at the Fijian Elections Office. There are legal provisions there, which is our guideline for us to follow. And so at the end of the day, we just have to follow the law. And when we follow the law and we are not compromised, then we are doing our job and we are serving our Fijians, which is our main priority.
And if they don't follow the law?
Well, the law also says if you don't follow, then there are repercussions to it, and that is clearly indicated in the Electoral Act. So in terms of those that we have hired, we've also specified in their contracts what are the repercussions if they do compromise.
And that includes losing a job?
Yes. Well, we have rights and we also have responsibilities.
You're watching Fiji Village Straight Talk. I'm Vijay Narayan. We'll be back after this break. About 20 years ago, we had a major drug bust, and you would remember, you would have been part of the operations at Laudala Beach. A lot of people in Fiji did not know what was methamphetamine. And what we are picking up on, people are saying it's readily available. Just the issue in relation to General Secretary, was that a tactical move that he ejected himself from Parliament?
Personally, it's unfortunate.
How are you dealing with those police officers who may be allegedly involved in this?
Vijay, no one is above the law.
We assure you that we will be having police officers around.
As a result of that bad policy, by the end of this month, we would have lost close to about $70 million in government revenue.
Bula Vinaka, I'm Vijay Narayan. This is Fiji Village Straight Talk.
Fiji Village Straight Talk with Vijay Narayan. Watch it live on the Fiji Village Facebook page and YouTube channel.
Oh my gosh! Oh, what's in the box?
You're probably wondering, what's in the box? Well, if you must know, it's actually me. Before you call the police, I'm actually an app. The all-new Fiji Village app. Here's an update. See what I did there? I gave you an update. What's new? Well, for starters, I look different. My new layout also comes with stories if you're looking for something short and sweet. I will bring you the latest news on the dot so you stay updated. You're welcome. You don't have to go anywhere for content because I bring the content to you. Not only can you listen to your favorite radio stations, you can also watch online video content. Which reminds me, do you love sports? Well, guess what? With the Fiji Village app, you can stay up to date with your favorite sports and scoreboards, no matter where you are. Your #1 news website just got better with an app. Download and get updated now.
Welcome back. You're watching and listening to Fiji Village Straight Talk. I'm Vijay Narayan. We are here at the Fijian Elections Office, the Office of the Supervisor of Elections, Anna Mataidiwa. Ms. Mataidiwa, just in relation to that traumatic night, election night, during the count, all of a sudden, all hell broke loose when the glitch occurred. Now, in simple terms, if you can explain, the investigation is over. You were part of the elections office during that time. If you can explain what caused the glitch.
In terms of the glitch, now we have reflected in our 2022 SOE General Election report the actual cause of it. When we look back to what actually happened on the night of election, now we have an offline system. This is the Results Management Information System. This system, its main purpose is to receive the results on the night of election. Most of the counting is taking place at the actual polling stations. And then we have the National Count Center that looks at the pre-poll and postal. Now those at the election polling stations, they were required to phone in their results. When that is phoned in, we have data entry clerks at the results center that actually does the input of this data. And then we have the online app, which is the FEO results app. Now, in terms of the glitch incident, once data was entered into the RMIS system, which is an offline app, that data had to be transferred to the FEO results app so that it can be pushed in the mobiles. And that is a manual transfer, just like how you go into your desktop and your laptop and you get a folder and then you push it to another application. So a staff that was responsible for that pushing of the data to the FEO results app pushed out the wrong data, basically copied and pasted the wrong data, and that's how things got messed up in the FEO result app. We have not hidden anything. We have reflected as it is in our report that it was a human error. We have learned from it, and in preparation for the next general election, we have put in preventative measures so that this incident does not repeat itself in the 2026 general election.
Now, are you already, no doubt, you have already started with targeted training?
Yes. In terms of targeted training, now when we look at our 2022 vote turnout, places that did not have a good voter turnout was the Central and the Western Division. So they had 67% turnout and 68% turnout. And then we had the age group, the youths between 21 to 30 that didn't turn up to vote. But then when we looked at our awareness strategy, then we realized it was more of a generic message that was going out to all our stakeholders. We did not pay much attention to the different categories. And in terms of training, what we are doing now is, whilst we wait for the electoral law reform, we are doing capacity building training just in terms of understanding the role of an election official, capacity building surrounding international best practices, how to go about in spreading public outreach and awareness, the generic skills that is required of any election officials while we wait for the legal reform. But then once that comes in, then we already have the capacity, the skilled capacity of the election official staff to go out and deliver the necessary messages.
That's critical to achieve because it's important. You highlighted those statistics for the Central and Western Division, the biggest voting blocks in the country, and we are not even hitting 70% there.
Yes.
That is quite a major concern.
It is. When we are looking at these statistics, one of the areas that we are targeting is, and we are hoping to release our vote perception survey later on next month or the other month. We are still finalizing the data, but that voter perception survey would actually tell us what was the reason from these two divisions of them not attending the election. Most probably it could be because most of them are required to come on election date, whereas the other two divisions, we have more pre-polls in those areas. But these are just speculations. While we get the voter perception survey, then we'll be able to address the public more.
And no doubt you need to do more apart from your own platform to entice the younger voters, the 21 to 30 age group.
Yes, Vijay, because when we look at the 2022 general election public outreach and awareness, Fijian Elections Office ran their lane and we left the other stakeholders out. But we expected them to know the process. I mean, you would be aware of it in terms of your media responsibility as well. But what we are doing now is 2023 and 2024, we've been strengthening our collaboration with our stakeholders in terms of the youths. We have been going to the Ministry of Youth's organized workshops and events just to raise awareness on the youth leaders from the various divisions and to empower them so that they can go out and talk about election in preparation for the general election.
You've already started your polling venue assessments as well. The polling venues are very important in terms of accessibility to make things better and easier for the voters?
Yes, we have. In terms of our polling venue assessment, our team are currently out there on the field, and this is a nationwide exercise. We have around 70 staff that have been engaged since the 3rd of March, and this will continue on until the 4th of April. So basically, they're visiting all the 2022 general election polling venues just to see whether it's still in existence, and if it is, if it's still suitable, if it's still accessible, and the security of it. If there is no polling venue there, then the alternative polling venue that they could use.
There's some sad situations in the last elections. I remember one in particular in Papua New Guinea, because we have our radio stations in Papua New Guinea, and we have a lot of Fiji citizens who work in PNG, and there was no proper active registration campaign that was done there. Also, we had that big confusion about the voter card, that if you had the green voter card, you couldn't use it. It was no longer in use. That was the first announcement. Then you all need to have a new card, which was 2.0 or something. Then, okay, you can still use the green voter card. A lot of confusion in that area. Just what type of work is going on, including for workers who at times on voting day, on polling day, are still told by their employers, you will not be given time to go and vote. What type of work is being done early to ensure we do not have those issues again?
In terms of our workers here locally, what our team is working towards now, apart from strengthening collaboration with our general stakeholders, they've also gone out of their way to strengthen collaboration with the human resource departments of the essential services. And just the first phase is getting them to push out messages on registration. And then the second phase would be the methods of voting that is available to them, which is the postal voting method. Now to our overseas based ones as well. And it's good that you've raised that up, because when we look at the registered voters for overseas in the 2022 general election, there were 9,427 that were registered, and only 651 participated through a postal, which was 6.9 turnout. And to us, when we look at that voter turnout, then we realize we have to really rope in our Fijian diasporas. And groundworks have begun. We've just recently signed a memorandum of understanding with the Ministry of Employment. And so for that MOU, we are targeting the PALM scheme Fijians that are in Australia and the RSC scheme Fijians that are in New Zealand. That is the first start for Fijian diasporas, just providing them a platform to come and register before they leave the country. But those that we have missed out, that are currently there, will be able to receive data from the ministry to be able to take the services to them. That is the first phase. Then the second phase would be in terms of postal application and getting them to actually cast their vote. But for other Fijian diasporas, we are also working with other ministries as well to get things rolling in terms of reaching out to our Fijian diasporas. Interesting fact, we have a team that is leaving for the UK soon. They're actually going to, this was actually a request from the Fijian diasporas in the UK, and we've worked with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs on this, and our team will be departing to serve our Fijian diasporas in the UK next month.
Well, that's great news for those in the UK. Definitely a lot of Fijians residing there, and things are quite different leading up to next year's elections, with more focus also. 6.9%,
Yes.
very low voter participation for our overseas voters, and hopefully that number can significantly increase in the next elections. You've recently attained, FEO has attained a registration certificate from the Higher Education Commission. I believe this is sort of going on the pathway to better education of voters for the elections. How will this serve its purpose?
In terms of our recognition certificate, we've just received it earlier this month. This certificate, it gives recognition to the legality of setting up the Institute of Democracy for Electoral Education. So this is the training arm of the Fijian Elections Office. We've realized for the past 3 general elections, we only talk about training on the election year. We get in our Fijians and we tell them, come for training. Then after that, we leave them. But now what we've done is to empower our Fijians. So when you talk about electoral processes and participating on it, it's not only you coming in to cast your vote, but empowering yourself through this certificate. So first phase is the recognition certificate, which we've just obtained. Now we're working towards the registration certificate, which we plan to launch later in the year when we meet all the legal requirements for this institution. But it will have modules surrounding elections officials and expectations from them in terms of conducting elections, and as well as leadership skills in terms of customary delivery services and stress management services, time management, and so forth. And so this is a good platform where our Fijians can, if they are really interested in participating in election, they could come in and obtain a certificate and then work for the Fijian Elections Office.
You're watching or listening to Fiji Village Straight Talk. I'm Vijay Narayan. We'll be back after this break. About 20 years ago, we had a major drug bust, and you would remember, you would have been part of the operations at Laucala Beach. A lot of people in Fiji did not know what was methamphetamine. And what we are picking up on, people are saying it's readily available. Just the issue in relation to General Secretary, was that a tactical move that he ejected himself from Parliament?
Personally, it's unfortunate.
How are you dealing with those police officers who may be allegedly involved in this?
Vijay, no one is above the law.
We assure you that we will be having police officers around.
As a result of that bad policy, by the end of this month, we would have lost close to about $70 million in government revenue.
Bula Vinaka, I'm Vijay Narayan. This is Fiji Village Straight Talk.
Fiji Village Straight Talk with Vijay Narayan. Watch it live on the Fiji Village Facebook page and YouTube channel.
Oh my gosh! Oh, what's in the box?
You're probably wondering, what's in the box? Well, if you must know, it's actually me. Before you call the police, I'm actually an app. The all-new Fiji Village app. Here's an update. See what I did there? I gave you an update. What's new? Well, for starters, I look different. My new layout also comes with stories if you're looking for something short and sweet. I will bring you the latest news on the dot so you stay updated. You're welcome. You don't have to go anywhere for content because I bring the content to you. Not only can you listen to your favorite radio stations, you can also watch online video content. Which reminds me, do you love sports? Well, guess what? With the Fiji Village app, you can stay up to date with your favorite sports and scoreboards, no matter where you are. Your #1 news website just got better with an app. Download and get updated now.
Welcome back. You're watching or listening to Fiji Village Straight Talk. I'm Vijay Narayan. We're here at the office of the Supervisor of Elections, Anna Mataidiwa. Ms. Mataidiwa, political parties, of course, they have the freedom to register. There's requirements to be followed, the 5,000 signatures, that's according to the current laws. How many political parties have you got in your registered list?
For those that have been registered, we have 7 registered political parties, but we have 10 proposed political parties that have reserved their name. So that is the first phase, Vijay, for them to approach the Registrar of Political Parties and request to reserve their proposed name. Once we accept it, then they move on to the second phase, which is actually going out there to our Fijians and getting the necessary support from the different divisions so that it can form part of their application to us when they do come and register.
And these 10 people, are they coming from any new movements, or they from the current political party movement?
For the 10 proposed political parties, we have those that are from youths. We have those that are vocal on the social media. We have those that are current politicians. And we have those that are just general Fijians that are interested to start their party.
And legally, can you reveal the names to us?
In terms of these proposed names, I will be able to release their name when I receive the application.
Application to register?
Yes.
So application to reserve a political party name, you're not obliged to reveal that publicly?
I'm not obliged to reveal it, but those that have reserved can go around and talk about their proposed political party themselves.
You cannot go out and say so-and-so has registered to have a political party.
I do not want to put pressure on them for such a small country, and you would understand as well, if I start naming this proposed party, people would go around to try to either attack them or support them. So I leave that for them to do it themselves, to talk about themselves so that they are able to receive the necessary support, to come to me, to register them, and I can legally talk about them.
Now, we understand that the next general election date will be sometime next year. What are the possible dates?
So the possible writ date, this would be on the 24th of June 2026. So that is the first possible writ date. And the last possible writ date would be 24th of December 2026, so the eve of Christmas. Now, if we have the writ issued on the first possible writ date, and then the first possible election date would be on the 7th of August 2026. Now, if we receive it on the eve of Christmas, then the possible election date would be on the 6th of February 2027.
There's some challenges when you have elections during certain times. For example, if school is still on and other issues, people have always said, or very close to the big holidays like during the Christmas, New Year period. Logistically, how do you prepare for those kind of things as we had to do in the last elections?
Yes. Interestingly, when we look at the 3 general elections, this was some of the facts that we had to consider. But on the actual issue of the writ date and the actual issue of the announcement of the election date, that is beyond our control and my legal mandate. But now it's good that we've released the possible dates so that our Fijians could be aware of what to expect next year or later on in the year, so they can make a preparation and just prepare themselves in terms of registering and being an informed voter.
Local government elections, there's been talk that it may happen in September, October this year. You definitely have to administer that elections with the local government ministry. how much time do you need, because there's no awareness underway at the moment. A lot of people are not even aware of how the system will work. There's a lot of work to be done. How much time do you need to get the awareness going before the actual elections?
In terms of local government election, we are also following the publications in the media on the talks of election, but preparation-wise, we have already started with our preparation. The polling venue assessment team that are currently on the ground, they are also looking at possible polling venues for the local government election. And we've also started work in terms of our electronic voter registration system, enhancing it to capture the requirements for the local government eligible voters. And in terms of awareness, for us at the Fijian Elections Office, it's in regards to the electoral processes. The awareness in terms of the civic side of local government elections, why they should be voting for these councillors, and what is the electoral system and the wards are these people talking about. That is something that the Ministry of Local Government will be looking at. We have had talks with them. They are currently preparing their awareness too on that regard. We might have seen that preparatory work has been done, and it's just a matter for us at the Elections Office to receive the regulation that talks about the conduct of election, and then we do a blast out on the electoral information with regards to local government election.
Voter participation is key for local government elections and our general elections. What was our total voter participation in the 2022 general elections?
In
voter
terms
turnout?
of voter turnout, so we had 68.2% voter turnout. But if we look at the previous voter turnouts, in 2014 it was 84%. 2018 it was 71.9%. Then last general election, it was 68.3%. So although internationally that is an acceptable vote participation number, but the trend is it's going down. And because it's a voluntary system, we are now concentrating on enhancing our public outreach and awareness so that we can get Fijians out there to exercise their right to vote and come, whether it be local government elections or general elections.
Yeah, 84% to have 84% voter turnout without voting being compulsory, no doubt it's a huge achievement. And we definitely, a lot of people are hoping that we have a good voter turnout, especially with a lot of people always raising concerns about services, etc. That is their democratic right to go and practice when they go on polling day to exercise their right when they cast their ballot. But the issue in relation to registration, how much work is going into registration in different divisions to ensure the first step is taken that our people are registered?
In terms of registration, like I said previously, we always had processes that were of administrative convenience to us. We've always said, you know, this is a voluntary system. If you want to exercise your right to vote, you come find us. But what we're doing now is we are actually going to be coming to you. We've got plans in terms of maritime and nationwide registration. We will talk more of this later in the year. We also have plans in terms of awareness, because what happened last time was that in certain instances we did come out, but then there was no awareness to our coming out. And so when we were there, not many people knew of it. But now what we're doing is we are pushing out awareness first, and then we are coming after you.
Yeah, that was a big question mark too. A lot of people, and we did cover some of the news articles where people didn't know the registration was taking place in certain areas. And by the time they had come there, I think based on the scheduled times, the teams had left.
Yes, Vijay, because when we look at this, even looking at the 2022 voter turnout and our review of the 2022 general election, we don't blame the Fijians because most of this, like you rightfully said, was our confusion in terms of messages that were going out, in terms of how we behaved on our electoral services. So it is a huge lesson learned for us. And in preparation for the upcoming general election, we are coming in to transform. So we bring services out to our Fijians, and we hope when we do that, they also do their part and they come in to vote.
What's your advice to those people who are still not registered and do not have a voter card?
You know, your vote is your power, right? And so for you to exercise that power, you first need to be registered. Now you could be talking about all your issues and whatnot, but then it comes to you exercising it. And if you have not registered, please do come to our Voter Services Center. We have one in the Northern Division. It's at the Legal Aid Building. We have one here in the Central Division at the Old Vistas Bureau Building, and then we have one in the Western Division at Vitong Parade. So if you have not registered, please do come over to register. Just bring your birth certificate, either certified or original copy, together with a valid photo ID. If you have lost it, if you have had it stolen or damaged, please do have it replaced. For us, we tend to have this last minute kind of thing going on for Fiji, but we better be proactive and start coming in. It's free of charge. So please do come in, your family members, get them to register. That's the first part. And then the second part is to get them to actually come down and vote next year.
And we know that there's some amendments that are going through the consultation process, but some have been immediately actioned, like the one regarding the women needing to have their husband's name on the voter card if they're using that name. That law is already changed, if you can highlight that.
Okay, in terms of the requirement that we had expected and rolled out in 2022 was that the name on your birth certificate should be the name on your voter card. And this affected most of the, not only married women, Vijay, but even most males that normally goes with their preferred name, but then the name in the birth certificate is their family name. So it affected both male and married women as well. But that has been repealed. We are going back to name in your birth certificate, preferred name. If you are married, just bring your marriage certificate so that it's reflected if you want to use your marriage name.
Yeah, we knew that had caused a lot of issues, mainly for married women, because they had, if they were to use their married name and the voter card, then they had to go to the registrar of births, deaths, and marriages, and put their married name on the birth certificate, which was a birth certificate is always sacred. To do that, and because it was legislated, people had to do it. And if you have those birth certificates, well, keep it as a memory, but you can go back and remove and just have your own name when you were born as the birth certificate, because that's the original name, I think, because the law has, law has been repealed now. Just a question on referendum, national referendum. We know that recently Parliament debated on amendment to the Constitution. The current Constitution, the standing required is that 75% of members of the Parliament have to say yes to a change in the Constitution, and 75% of the total registered voters have to say yes to that in a national referendum. Fijian Elections Office has to play a part in the referendum. Are you ready?
In terms of readiness, election readiness, either it be a referendum, local government election, or general election, it's a legal mandate to be ready to conduct the elections. We are here to serve our Fijians, so we are ready.
Legally, what's the requirement for a referendum? We know countries like the US they normally do that during the election period. They have a few questions that also go into the ballot papers as a referendum. How is Fiji expected to handle it?
In terms of referendum, the constitution is quite clear. The Electoral Commission takes a lead role in this. For us at the Elections Office, we just come in to conduct the referendum. But if we look at other countries, some do it together with their general election, some do it together with their federal elections, and some do it separately. But for us here in the Fijian Elections Office, we are legally mandated. So once we receive that legal document to conduct the referendum, then it's tools down and carry on that work to conduct the referendum.
So how quickly can you do it?
It will totally depend, just like in the general election, the writ that is issued. So once that similar legal document is given to the Electoral Commission and they give it to us, then we'll have to conduct it.
And how much money do you need for that?
In terms of cost, if it is a sudden activity that we have to do, then we are looking at doubling up or tripling up our human resources, our awareness, and of course the procuring of materials. So costs as compared to the general and local government election would be more.
Do you have a figure worked out for that?
If I tell you a figure, Vijay, I would be lying to Fijians.
Okay, you're still
Yes,
working that out.
we are working on
And now that there's a lot of talk coming in that direction, I no doubt the office is looking
Yes.
at that. And what is your advice to voters on the review of the Constitution and on the referendum?
On the review on the Constitution, the referendum, and even in the electoral laws, we have to become informed citizens. Just make sure you get the right information, read through the materials surrounding those constitution amendments or referendum or even local government or any election for that matter. Get yourself aware of it and be a responsible Fijian. Read up on it, ask the right questions to the right institutions to help you, and then when the need arises, such as for the review of the electoral laws, when you come for public consultation, you're ready to come in, present, and hoping that it will be reflected in the laws.
Supervisor of Elections, Anonymity, thank you very much for appearing on our show tonight on Fiji Village Straight Talk and talking directly to our viewers and listeners. Before we finish off, do you have anything you have to say directly to those listening out there and watching? You're saying you will go down hard on registration this time. You'll start early, and you're basically saying you're coming for the people. What is your message to them?
Well, my message to Fijians out there, the power of one is important. If we are able to reach one, including you, then we are able to empower all, especially for you, your viewers. And so to Fijians out there, please come on down, register, do the necessary things that you need to do. Be an informed voter and also participate. We have recruitment that is coming up. You don't only have to come and vote, you can also come and be part of the election. And we hope that you would also do your part whilst we do our part.
And that's your show for tonight. Until next week, have a great evening.